Welcome to the Process to Purpose podcast. We're here to help inspire and motivate people to find their purpose through the process of spirituality, health, and wealth, using godly principles and values to break through to the life that God has called us to live. Today, we'll be introducing a new segment in the Process to Purpose podcast. It's going to be called the Entrepreneurship Process. We're going to be partnering up with Okyrie Royal, a coffee company. And today, we actually have the CFO, Jaime Bejar, and also joining us next time will be the CEO, Adam Rodriguez. So check it out. He's going to be talking about a little about DMP. That's your definite major purpose. So it's going to be a great one. Don't miss out. And here's the episode.
But I'm actually Adam's partner. I'm the CFO of Okyrie Royal. And, I was talking with Robert. Robert, he has a podcast called The Process to Purpose. And I started thinking, why don't we set something up and something to do with entrepreneurship and with your podcast, so we can kind of send that same message to people. So here we are.
Yeah.
So we're going to get this going.
So really quick, introduce, and I hope I say this right, because I've been trying to practice like all day, but Okyrie Royal?
Okyrie Royal, yeah.
Okyrie Royal, because I was like, all right, I actually went onto the page, and then I was listening to how Alex was saying it. So I was like, I was like trying to mimic him, bro.
I know it's a little difficult at first, but once you get it going, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, no. So, and I heard it's pretty good.
It's really good. We have had no bad reviews thus far. Well, at least nobody who's told us.
Yeah, right.
Nothing but good stuff. I mean, it really is honestly good stuff.
And I'm super excited to try some, but unfortunately my boy right here didn't bring some today, but he said he would bring some next time.
For sure.
Hey, bro, I was
100%.
I was about to brew a cup, bro, and then I got here and I was like, well, he didn't bring any this time, but it's okay. We'll get it for the next time. So really quick, what do you do for Okyrie Royal, man? What do you do there?
So I'm the CFO. I basically handle all financials. We see the trajectory of where we want to go. I handle all accounting, finance. Adam helps out as well, but basically it's a two-man team right now. We do get help from our wives and a couple other people as well.
Nice.
But primarily, Adam has been putting in massive work. Like it's been all him, and I've been helping with what I can, and we're just going from there.
Nice, man. And I'm actually excited to have Adam on. I said Alex earlier, huh? That was so bad. So I'm actually super excited to have Adam on. We're hoping to get him in a segment next month.
Yeah, he should be on. Hopefully, if everything works out. Since he wasn't able to be here today, he should be here next month.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we'll get him in, and then how did you guys meet? How did all that happen?
Thanks to my wife.
Really?
Yeah. So my wife and his wife used to work together, and then we hung out one day, couples, and then I met him, and we got along really well. We kind of had like the same type of mindset. Actually, at the beginning, I didn't really see it yet. I don't think neither one of us knew the type of mindset that we were both kind of going towards. Like we were both kind of like in the beginning stages of like we knew what we want. We could see what we wanted, but we didn't really know what we wanted. So it was kind of a blessing because I feel like we both kind of started off around the same time and we both kind of had the same type of vision. And then we started to get to know each other, and then we became good friends. But Okyrie Royal didn't come into play till at least a year after we met. I think it started last year. He first brought up the idea to me last year around March, I think.
Okay.
2017. He's always been around the coffee industry for I forgot how many years, but one day he just basically went up to me like just straight up. He's like, hey, so I've been thinking I want to start my own coffee company, just like that.
Hey,
and I was
that's
like,
what it takes, man.
I was like, really? The funny thing is though that so as some of you guys know, and as Robert knows, I have my regular 9-to-5 job. I have my own tax business. But other than that, I always knew I wanted something else. I knew I wanted something bigger. I just didn't know what, right? Like I knew one day I wanted to have some type of product that I can provide with people and at the same time give them value back, right?
Yeah,
I don't want to just sell them coffee or just sell them a book or just sell them anything. Like I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And then when he threw that at me, I was like, oh damn, like it's right here in front of me. Like
yeah,
it was literally right here in front of me.
The
but this didn't happen.
man.
It didn't happen just like from one day to the other. I had been thinking about this for like at least 6 months or a year maybe. And then when he threw that at me, I was like, damn, here's my opportunity. Like here it is. Like why not? And, you know, so I thought about it, and then I said, yeah, let's do it, you know, so.
That's good, man, because a lot of times I feel like you were already expecting something to come.
Yeah.
You didn't know what it was, but the expectation was there from yourself, and this opportunity showed up, and you're like, bro, let's just run with it because this is it's exciting. Let's do it. So I'm super excited for you guys. I can't wait to see, you know, the growth that you guys have. The growth that you guys already had is super awesome. So I haven't tasted the coffee myself, but I'm a coffee guy. But
we're gonna bring some at the next podcast, 100%.
We're gonna brew some.
We're not gonna hear that anymore.
Yeah. Here, let me fix your mic a little bit, bro, because it is falling. But all right, cool. Just so they can hear you. But yeah. So what the biggest reason we decided to actually do this segment is that we know there's a lot of people out there who have those like thoughts or something in their heart, right, where they're like, hey, I want to do something, but I don't know what it is, or I'm too scared to do it. Whatever the case is, you know, there's a lot of fear. People doubt themselves, or they don't even think about it, right? Like we're talking a little bit earlier, they don't have any really that desire or any purpose to really actually find something to do in entrepreneurship. So that's the real reason why we're doing this. We want to you know, let people know that, hey, you're capable of doing it. As long as you start thinking about it, like how it kind of just happened with Jaime, it'll come. The opportunity will come.
And that's a really good point right there, because a lot of times, have you ever heard somebody say, oh, this person got lucky? It's not necessarily that they got lucky. There's a whole bunch of other things that come into play. But primarily, you kind of have to be open to the opportunity. You have to be...
Definitely.
You have to know what you want in order for you to see it. A lot of times... A lot of us always have opportunities in front of us, but we don't see them. Why? Because we're not open to the idea of them coming to us, because we're not open to the idea of it actually happening, or of us actually being able to do it. So we're closed-minded, being capable of it. So then when the opportunity comes, we're literally blocking it and we're not seeing it. So if you're open about it, you'll be surprised at how many things just start coming to you. And that's basically, that's exactly what happened. Like, just, I opened my mind to it, and I told myself that's what I wanted. And
it's almost like the opportunities find you. Right?
Yeah.
Same thing kind of with real estate. I didn't want to do real estate, bro. It just wasn't in my my to-do list, or hey, I always want to be a real estate agent. No, like this just wasn't in my thing. Like it wasn't my thing. And then the opportunity came up, and I met with some realtors and some escrow officers, and I was like, well, I could actually make a living off this and actually use it as a tool to get to what I really want to do. And that, again, this is what I really want to do, is focus on people, focus on developing people, bringing people up. So, man, I'm just super excited for it. Because before we move forward, I kind of want to ask you about the house, bro. I don't know. I didn't throw that in there, but I want to throw you for a curve right now. And
right now, when we get to this next topic, it's actually going to be connected to that very well. But
okay,
I'll bring that up right now.
Did you want to wait for that?
Yeah, we'll wait for that.
Okay, perfect. Because I helped my boy right here buy a house, and I know he's been working on it a lot. I see it. This dude's working, just making moves, man. So let's actually go into our next topic right here that we're going to talk about. I know we did the introduction already, so we're going to talk about definite major purpose, man. And I kind of want you to just take that and run with it, bro.
So I first came to hearing about the definite major purpose probably 3 or 4 years ago. One of my friends, Jeff, it was at a point in my life where I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had no vision. My mind was closed. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know. I literally didn't know. Like the majority of people, like I was lost. I was literally lost. He told me to read this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Super good book. That was actually my first book that I ever actually read.
Bro, same here.
Yeah?
I kid you not. You not. That's why I quit my job. But go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
So
continue.
That was the first book I read, and he briefly talks about your definite major purpose on there. But then going back to that 4 years ago, I read that book, and basically it tells you to create a definite major purpose, right? The funny thing is I created that definite major purpose. I read that book. 2 years went by, and I never touched it again. I never read another book. Like, I got lost again, right? And then maybe 2 years ago, I started kind of finding my way again. And then just actually this year, I read this book called well, I'm part of a mastermind, and in that mastermind, we read a book called The 17 Principles of Success, which is also by Napoleon Hill. And one of those principles is having a definite major purpose. Have you guys ever, I'll give you a perfect example, have you ever like walked down the street or been at school or say you're at church, and have you ever asked anybody, have you ever heard anybody ask somebody, what do you want to do? Or what do you want? Like,
what are you aspiring to be?
What are you aspiring to be?
Yeah.
Majority of people will always tell you they don't know. They don't know because they don't have a definite major purpose.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's funny because a lot of people actually do know what they want, but they don't know that is a definite major purpose. So they actually end up getting it because they know what they want, right? So it's just another way of saying it, I guess you can say.
Yeah, and everybody's purpose is different. Like, if I were to ask somebody and they were to tell me, well, my whole purpose is just to take care of my family. Perfect. You know what you have to do.
It doesn't have to be entrepreneurship. It doesn't mean that you want to be a billionaire. It doesn't have to be that. It could just simply be, I want to lose weight. I want to have a family. I want to provide for my family. Like that, as simple as that, can be your definite major purpose.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can't go where you know you want to go if you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, definitely.
You need to first see it in order for it to happen.
Definitely. And I mean, with that, I would suggest actually writing it down and then reading it over and over, kind of like Napoleon Hill goes over in the book, right? It's been a long time since I've actually read the book. It's probably been maybe 3 years since I last read it. So I need to get back to it. And it's funny because in the book, it goes over that and tells you to write one out, right? And guess what I did?
You wrote it?
Nope, I didn't. I didn't write it out.
Well, look, like I was saying earlier, so I wrote my definite major purpose. Give me a second. I wrote my definite major purpose about 2 years ago, and I never read it again. And then when when I was reading this book, The 17 Principles of Success, I was like, wait a minute, I did this already. I went back because I keep everything right, and I saw that I had it right. So with this mastermind, we kind of expanded on the DMP, and I don't want to say perfected it because it's never perfected. I mean, it might be perfected at that second, but keep in mind that your DMP, that's an abbreviation for definite major purpose, is always going to change. It will never be the same. Like, it can literally change weekly, monthly, yearly. Like, your goals are always going to be different. And as long as you know what you want and you want to go get it, that will be your new DMP.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I expanded on my DMP about a few months ago, and the funny thing is, so what you first have to write on there is you first have to say, it's like if you're speaking to yourself, right? You got to say your name, you got to say what you want, you got to say by when you're gonna have this. You have to be specific about what you want, and you have to set a goal as of what are you gonna do in return for it, right? So when you receive all these benefits, what are you gonna give back in return? Because you can't just simply receive all the time. Like, you have to be willing to give back. And as long as you're willing to give back, you will get what you want. So
let's try to break this down just a little bit. I know I don't want to get too specific, but so say somebody starts writing this down, right? Are they reading it daily? Are they going over it once a week, once a month?
Ideally, you want to read it 2-3 times a day.
Right.
If you can more, read it when you wake up. This is what I do. I wrote mine. I printed it. I have like 5 or 6 copies. I have one at work. I have one in my car. I have one in my wife's car. I have one in my gym bag. I have one.
No, that's good.
So because
it's a constant reminder.
If you just have one laying around in your house and you leave early in the morning, you come back early at night, you might not see it and you'll forget about it. And it happened to me. That's why I remembered. I was like, damn, how am I going to remember to keep reading this? I mean, you could put a reminder too and then just go on your phone. But I simply just printed them. So anywhere I am, I get in my car, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And I read it. I get to work like, oh yeah, that's right. And I read it.
And it's funny because how long does it actually take you to read it?
It depends how long you write it. It takes me about a minute. Actually, probably even less. And mine's actually kind of long. So it probably takes you like 5 seconds. To be honest, if you guys write a short, concise, exactly what you want, small paragraph, you can read that in 10 seconds.
And it's crazy because so many of us actually think like, wow, that's going to be a lot more work. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's your life. Like, you got to plan ahead, and then once you do it, like you said, it's gonna take you a minute. So can you imagine taking 3 minutes away from your life? That's like 3 minutes from like scrolling on Facebook or something, where you can actually be making an impact in your own life and setting up your mind to succeed. You know what I mean? And where I think that's where a lot of people fail. They see it as work. And it is work.
It is work.
You have to do it.
You have to do it.
Yeah, man. So that being said, I need to get back to actually doing it, and
I highly recommend you guys to try it. If you haven't, just Google either Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich or the 17 Principles of Success. It'll explain it to you right there. Yeah. You can actually even just Google Definite Major Purpose, and you'll find all kinds of stuff in there. Yeah. It tells you exactly what to do. But if I recommend just reading the books, it's just a lot better.
Because it puts it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
all the other ones are just summaries from people, which are still very helpful. But I say just read the book.
Yeah, and then so this would be like a good start, right? Find what your definite major purpose is, and go with that. Even if you're wrong, right? Even if you're wrong and you end up having something like you said in 30 days, then you know where you have to adjust in your life, what you have to do to get to where you want to be aligned with. So where you want to go, as long as you're doing something, you're actually moving and you're saying, hey, this is what I want. Okay, nah, maybe not. Then 30 days later, cool, let's try something else. But you're actually trying instead of just kind of living life.
And you might think that, oh, this is not going to work, right? How is that going to help me get there? I used to think the same thing. I used to think the exact same thing. People used to tell me like, oh, call it out to the universe, because this is basically what you're doing. You're calling out to the universe. And I used to think that was crazy talk. I literally thought that was crazy. Like, there's no way. How is this going to happen? Yeah. It just doesn't. So I had my first episode, you could say, about probably this year, about speaking out to the universe and asking for what you wanted, and it happened. So I took this super serious.
Nice.
And basically, when you have that DMP and you're reading it every time, you build a desire in your heart and in your brain. And once you have that desire, like, your mind just starts going, and you subconsciously just start creating things in your head when you don't even know you're creating them. And that's when, it's like, for example, are you guys ever sitting around doing nothing and then the idea just pops in your head, right? That's the subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
The more engraved you have what you want in your brain, that subconscious will be working, thinking about that thing. So when you're at a point where you don't know how you're going to get to that goal, so you want to be an actor and you're completely, or actress, and you're completely lost, you don't know what you want, and you're reading your DMP every single day, somehow, some way, from all the things that you're learning from people, watching on TV, watching on social media, and you're constantly reading your DMP telling you that I want to become an actress, ideas are going to pop in your head. And all of a sudden you're going to be like, that's the thing, that's what I got to do. Like, for example, you guys have heard of the Kiki, do the Shiggy challenge, or that Kiki dance?
Yeah.
Say, for example, you wanted to be an actress or an actor, right? And you're on social media and you're trying to get your social media game up, and you're like, man, how am I going to do it? Like, it's so difficult. There's so many competitors out there. And then, but in your head, you're already engraved that you want to be an actress, and you're going to come up with amazing ideas, right? You're always reading that. I guarantee you that if you had been doing that and you were watching these videos, an idea would pop in your head that probably wouldn't have popped before, which would have been like, let me do it.
Yeah, and you'll start taking the right action.
And you'll actually do it. Yeah. And if you didn't have that DMP and you just saw it, you'd be like, oh, wow, this is weird. Oh, this is dumb. And you probably wouldn't do it. Or you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you would not connect them, right?
Yeah.
If your subconscious had been working, it would have connected them, and then you would have been like, oh, I should do that.
That's good.
And then all of a sudden, it's not 100% sure, but your social media could blow up.
Yeah,
Once your social media blows up, you could possibly have opportunities with working with big companies, and who knows, where you'll go from there. So, but that's just like a small example of.
Let me ask you, this is very important. Have you done the Shiggy dance?
No.
Can you imagine Jaime in a suit?
I did think about it. I was like, no, I'm gonna look ridiculous.
You know what, bro? And it's so funny because, like, my boy right here, he's all like in his nice professional clothes, and he shows up and he looks at me. He's like, well, you can come right here. I was like, nah, I'm gonna wear the hat. But next thing you know, you're gonna see Jaime doing the Shiggy dance.
That's crazy.
Hit a move, bro. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll pass. Maybe next time.
But yeah, guys. So basically, find where you want to go. Let's get you going. Let's do it today, because we need to get you going, and that's why we're doing this, right?
But you know how I mentioned an example of, say you wanted to be an actress, and then that subconscious pops out?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you guys a real live example of something that actually happened.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, yeah, that's what we're getting to.
So I created my DMP about 4 months ago, right? So in there, I put everything that I wanted to happen this year, right? One of those things was purchase my first real estate property, right? at that point, I had no idea how I was going to do it. No means of doing it. Like, it wasn't even a thought. I honestly didn't think it was going to happen this year because I didn't know how it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So when I wrote the DMP, I decided, I'm just going to throw that in there. One of the things I put in was I'm purchasing my first real estate property. Been reading my DMP for a few months, and then not even. This is crazy how crazy this thing actually works. I wrote the DMP. Maybe I might have had an advantage because I had already pre-written it 2 years ago, so I expanded on it. But anyways, 2 weeks after that, guess what popped in my head all of a sudden? I said, dude, if you're gonna do this, just do it. The first thing that came to me was after I seen one of your videos promoting your real estate, and I was like, dude, you have a real estate agent here, just call them.
They work.
I literally, I just text. Did I text you or call you? I don't remember.
I think you sent me a message, bro, on Instagram.
And then I think within 10 minutes, we were talking on the phone, and I just told him, we hung up, and he told me he would show me a couple properties. He would look up a few properties for me. Yeah. And then we hung up, and no lie, I was nervous. I was like, how am I even going to do this? Like I had no idea how I was going to do this, right? Yeah. And basically, long story short, we ended up getting the house. It's basically a flip because this house is in really bad condition, but I seen the potential, and because I was reading my DMP constantly, and because I had already prior experience, so from my regular job, I'm a banker, right? So I see all these investors who go in and flip houses, and the way they do it. Yeah. And I've always told myself, I'm going to do that one day, but I never did it. So then I put it in my DMP. I started thinking about it. It started happening. And then initially, I didn't want to get this home because it just wasn't in right condition. Yeah. And then all these ideas just started popping in my head, right? This has to do with a definite major purpose. But on top of that, I already had experience in it, right? So then all these ideas started popping in my head. And I was like, wait a minute, I can make this work. And I could actually make money off of it without using my money, which was the craziest thing, which we can talk about that on a whole other segment. But I'm basically doing this whole job without even touching my money.
Nice.
Like, without any money. And hopefully everything works out. Yeah. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. That's one of the things I try and work on. It's going to work out. Yeah, definitely. One way or another. And it's just crazy. Like, even to this day, I still get amazed at how this is happening right now, because this wouldn't have happened if I didn't write it on my definite major purpose. Yeah. Like,
definitely. That's so crazy, bro, because, I mean, it's a super blessing, and it's funny because we shared this before. He literally called me, and just like he's saying, he didn't know how it was going to happen. He just said, hey, I'm just going to make the call, and let's see what happens, right? Yeah. But when he made the call, I usually meet with somebody before we actually go see homes and get the whole pre-qualify. We didn't even do that. Literally, like, we didn't even sit down one-on-one with me and your wife.
It was crazy. I was on a mission at that time. I was, like, so focused. I was like, let's just get to the point. Like, let's just So
now actually reached out to you. She got your information, got you going. Literally so that was like on a Saturday, Sunday, right? That happened on that Friday. So he was pre-approved by like maybe Tuesday, Wednesday or so. Yeah. And then he's like, no, well, we'll take some time. We'll kind of see where the houses are at. And then so I just said, hey, I'm gonna send him a list, see where he stands. Yeah. And I sent him the list of homes, and I said, look, bro, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I have a heads up on one of the homes because I knew the person selling it. Yeah. And then one of the other homes, it's going to be off the market that weekend, guaranteed. Yeah. And we went, and the home that really I didn't think he was going to maybe like, he ended up getting. Yeah. Because his wife seen the potential. They both seen the potential of what can happen, but it literally just happened like that. And that's why, I wanted you to share that because, bro, it's so awesome. Like, you actually decided before it even happened. Yeah, it was already. It
had already happened. Yeah, like, it's crazy how
literally
it just happened.
It's kind of same thing with this little apartment that we're in right now, bro. Literally, like, we had no money for this apartment, like literally nothing, bro. Like we had just like spent the money on the wedding. I always share how like I had $22 at the beginning of the year, but prior to that, like the only income we had coming in was my wife's income, man. So can you imagine, like? I went through all my savings. She went through most of her savings, and then the money I had left over went to the wedding, whatever. And we didn't know how we're like, no, we're gonna have to stay with her parents. But in my head, I was like, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but like I wrote it down, like we're gonna have our own place, and I kept writing it down on my goals, and next thing you know, bro, we're so blessed. Like God's like, all right, man, like here you go, like here's a little apartment there, and we needed our own space. You know what I mean? So just by deciding and believing and having faith, like really, like that's the most important thing you can do to start.
Yeah.
And then the actions, that's where it comes later, because then you also obviously have to put in the work.
Yeah.
But having that in your mind actually helps you when the time comes, you know, and you're sitting around not doing anything, and then you read it, you remember, I got to get back to work. Yeah. I got to go do this. So.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
Yeah, no, really, it does. And it's like with anything, man.
Yeah, and it's just like, say, for example, if you guys want to lose weight, right, it applies the same way, right? So if you guys want to lose weight, say you want to gain muscle, say you want to join a competition one day, say you want to get into a bodybuilding competition, say you want to get strong, you tell yourself every single day, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to get strong, I'm going to lose, you know, you're not going to lose weight, you're going to lose 30 pounds, and I'm going to look like this. You will eventually lose those 30 pounds and look like that. Like 100%, right? So you can apply your definite major purpose in anything, and that's one major thing that we both want to get across. That
definitely
every single one of us in any industry and anywhere in the world can use this, and it will help you.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I kind of want to share this, actually. I wasn't going to bring this up, but one thing that I did decide a long time ago, and I wrote down, is that I'm going to bring positivity to everyone around me, right? So it's going to be like infectious. Is that a word?
Yeah,
I think so, right? Yeah. So, you know, I want people just to be, you know, drawn to the positivity that I'm bringing out every single day. So I don't know if you guys know, but today I got in a car accident, right? Just ripped off my bumper, my wheels all messed up, fender all jacked, right? And I was kind of pissed at the beginning, and then because I had written that down, I had to remind myself, like, nah, bro, like, you're blessed, dude. Like, you have to be positive. So, you know, I went out there, I put it on Instagram that I got in a car accident, which sucks, right? I got to pay a deductible now. It sucks. But at the same time, like, God's put me in the position where I don't have to, like, worry, because I have, you know, enough savings or whatever the case is. So I started saying, hey, no matter what, I'm still blessed. I'm alive, you know, like I can't complain. Like I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm not going to let this stop me from doing the podcast. I'm not going to let this stop me from getting work done, going to the gym. It's like almost nothing. Like if it never happened, obviously we're down a car, but like I wasn't going to let that change. And someone actually sent me a message like, man, how can I get some of your positivity? And I literally told them I decided a while back that I was going to be positive no matter what, because there's no reason for me to complain. Yeah, there's so many people out there that have less, right? That are trying to, like, they're just thirsty, bro. They're trying to eat.
But you know what helps also with that? The fact that you're focused. You know what you want. Yeah. Right. So you chose to be positive. You know what you want in business. You know what you want in your life. You know what you want in your family. When you lock those things in and you're focused and you know what you want, and you tell yourself that negativity is not going to affect you,
it's not.
It doesn't. And the same thing actually happened to me like a month ago. Not to me, but anytime you have to spend money when you don't want to, it obviously hurts you, right? So like about a month ago, somebody hit my wife's parked car, and they knocked the side mirror out. And I went to the car, and I was like, why is there glass on the floor? And then I saw that the window was missing.
That sucks.
And then I could have easily gotten mad, but I just said, who cares? Like, it's just $100 or whatever it costs. And it literally did not faze me for the rest of the week. If I would have been thinking, oh man, I gotta waste $100, if I'm already thinking negative, you're automatically thinking negative right there, it's probably gonna ruin your day, and it's probably gonna ruin your week, and and you're gonna be thinking about it all the time and not focus on other things. Even if you don't have the money, because many of us have been in times where we don't have the money, you still can't see it that way. You still have to see it positive, and if you see it positive, you will figure out a way. You'll figure out where to come up with the money.
Bro, I wasn't going to allow it to change my day, nothing. I decided, I was like, bro, it happened. no reason to cry over spilled milk. Let's fix it. Yeah, learn from it, right? Yeah. Obviously, we got to learn from our mistakes, because it was a mistake. It was dumb. But it happened. Let's move on. Let's move forward. And I'm gonna just continue to be positive no matter what. And I think my wife looked at me like, "How the heck are you still positive, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you still, just okay? Well, hey, I'll drop you off at work, and I'm not gonna let it stop me. Now it's gonna, make me a little bit hungrier now. Like, hey, I gotta make more. I gotta sell another house or two, whatever the case is, to make up for the time and money that I'm gonna have to do, fixing the car. So, man, I really like today's segment, bro. It was really good.
I think it's gonna be helpful to a lot of people. I think if you can apply those two simple principles, creating a definite major purpose, being positive, because in a way they're both kind of connected, right? If you know your definite major purpose, it obviously has to be something positive.
Yeah, for sure.
And if it's something positive and you're driven and focused on it, you're gonna subconsciously be positive overall. If you also choose to be positive, well, you're gonna be positive, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think you guys can literally apply this anywhere. And I really, really hope, you work on your DMP and actually just try it out. Just finish it. And I challenge one of you guys to just do it. Like, just try it. Write a one-page definite major purpose. I mean, one page. Did I say one page?
Yeah.
A one-sentence definite major purpose, and expand on it every week. Add a couple extra lines.
Yeah.
Just sit down and try. By the time you sit down and try,
you'll
get it done.
I've shared where, where kind of where I'm going with that is, my biggest, I feel like my purpose is to bring 1 million people to have a relationship with Christ. And I say it all the time, and that's including, I do believe that God's going to use me, and I'm going to become a billionaire, and like all these stuff that billionaire is not like something like, oh wow, I need it, but I'm going to have it because I know I'm going to help a lot of people with that money. It's going to be a tool. You know what I mean? So I guess there's that purpose, and then everything kind of just falls under it, right?
Yeah.
So it's really good stuff, man. I hope you guys got something out of today. Not only did you listen and you got a little high, I'm gonna go actually do it, right?
Yeah.
Apply it. And what we want to do is not just come and give you guys stories, and we want to give you the how-to. Right, we want to give you those principles, the methodology. I hope I said that right. Of actually how to do stuff, and not just listen and kind of just brush it off, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited. This was just the first one that we have. I'm excited for the second one, and then hopefully we get Adam on next.
Adam should be on the next one, and
not Alex, Adam. Bro, I'm the worst with names. Man. And then next time, hopefully they bring some coffee so I can actually try some. I'll buy some. I won't be cheap. I'll buy some.
We'll bring coffee.
Yeah, I won't. I won't be cheap, bro. I just gotta fix my car first. But guys, again, share this with somebody. Tag somebody in it. Listen to the podcast. Again, go and give us a 5-star review on the podcast app. It's at the Process to Purpose podcast. And you got anything else to say before we finish up? Before we wrap it up?
I think that's everything.
All right, guys.
Well, you know what?
Go ahead.
Go to OkyrieRoyale.com.
There we go.
And check out our coffee. I guarantee you guys will not regret it.
We'll put a link
try it out. We'll put up a link.
Let's put up a link on the Facebook.
Yeah.
So sure. And then guys, follow us on Instagram, on our personal page. At Robert Cedeno Jr. And then yours is
Jaime.Bejar.
So mine's at Robert.Cedeno.Jr. But you could just type in Robert Cedeno, you'll find it. But follow us. Add us, comment on our stuff. Let me know if you guys have any questions, anything we can talk about, bring them next time. Yeah. Put it on there. Let's get going. Let's all do this together. Let's build a community of just all these awesome entrepreneurs. And guys, again, the way I finish every single podcast, if nobody loves you, Jesus loves you. All right, guys.
All right, see you guys.